What's up, everybody? I am Travesty.
I'm Cartoon Joe.
And welcome back to another episode of this freaking show. It is the weekly podcast with a little bit of something and a whole lot of nothing. The same weekly podcast is brought to you by CarterComics.com. It's your one-stop shop for all your comic needs, whether it be graded or raw. Carter Comics has got them all. All you gotta do is go to CarterComics.com, check out their amazing store. Fill your cart up with all their amazing products, whether it be graded comics, raw comics. I do believe they got like a couple extra things. I think Funkos, t-shirts, stuff like that. At discount code FreakNet at checkout, you'll save 10% on your entire order. That's FREAKNET. You'll save 10% at checkout. Not only at the website, but there are 4 different eBay accounts, and links to all those can be found on their homepage. And yes, our discount code will work over on their eBay sites as well. CarterComics.com is a one-stop shop for all your comic needs.
Nice.
Oh, thanks, Joe. How you been? You been good?
Yeah, not bad.
Solid holiday.
It ended up being fine. It was a little disappointing in that, so because of the cat with diabetes, we had a certain radius we could not leave.
Yeah.
And so we planned to go to, my father-in-law's.
Mm-hmm.
But the day before Thanksgiving, we got a call from him, that his whole household was sick. And so, we ended up just staying home, and, it was fine. You know, what was really nice about it was that we basically just made, like our 3 favorite dishes.
Yeah.
And then I also got myself like a rotisserie chicken from Costco. And, it ended up, instead of eating like an enormous plate piled super high with, everything I don't need, but I eat anyway because it's Thanksgiving and it's there.
Yeah.
I just had like 1 plate with just my favorite stuff. So, it was nice.
Yeah.
I miss people.
Yeah. Well, it sounded like it was a low key holiday for you, which isn't horrible. Yeah, other than being a touch under the weather afterwards, it was pretty good. I was able to go out to Sherry and Allen's and have Thanksgiving with my dad and Nick and all that, which became our new tradition. Instead of going out to my dad's house, we go over to Sherry's.
Nice.
Just other than Nixon becoming more rambunctious, I guess, and complete 180 about me than what she used to be as a child and everything. She constantly wants to play and do things or whatever. So, when they get right up to your face and they cough on you,
yeah,
it's right. It's a heartwarming experience because, it's like I'm a huge family person. I like spending time with family, and obviously, nieces and nephews are, something that's important to me. So I like that aspect, but just don't cough in my face. I mean that goes for, I guess, everyone out there in the world. Like, I have no problem with having your company around me. Just, don't stand fat for Sarah Burns at me. Yeah, exactly. So other than being a touch under the weather, it was okay. I didn't go Black Friday shopping this year with Mom and Carl being out in Florida. Didn't do the Menards thing, which, it was fine. Like I said, after I got home and I think we ate at like 1:30, 2 o'clock or something like that. So my Thanksgiving was pretty much over by like 3:30 or 3:30, 4 o'clock. It was fine just to be at home and relax, for, what I could and everything. I had no other real obligations to really leave the house and go do anything. So it was nice to kind of just almost like a vacation without having taken any vacation time and stuff. So it was good.
Nice.
It was good. Yeah, it was, ready for the next holiday to roll around here. Christmas is rolling up. So I'm excited for it. One thing I'm not excited about, and it's my own fault, and I will say that because I made a promise to myself that I would never use Grubhub again.
Yeah.
the idea of how expensive everything is, and just the idea of how much money can be spent on food like quickly. I was like, I'm so done with Grubhub. But I'm trying again another diet. Starting either today or tomorrow, depending on how I feel. Because I still have yet to eat today, which I probably should here when we're done recording. But I'm going to start a new diet, or I'm going to try a diet again. It's not a new diet. It's been around for a while and everything, and I want to talk about that a little bit later, but I want to talk about Grubhub right now because I Grubhub twice yesterday, and both times completely disappointed. And I don't know if and I'll talk about these situations because I want your opinion on it. I don't know if it's Grubhub's fault, if it's the place I ordered from's fault, or if it's the driver's fault. I can't decide because, so I'm at work and it's a coworker's birthday is actually today, so I have a birthday to you. But yesterday, we're supposed to we're planning on going like out for like a lunch for her birthday, but there were some people who were on vacation, some people out of the office and everything, so we really didn't nail down are we going today or are we going next week kind of thing. So I decided I'm just going to order lunch. I've been craving a Portillo's beef sandwich.
Oh yeah,
for the longest damn time. And I'm just like, I really want Portillo's beef, but I have so much work I gotta get done because my coworker's on vacation. I gotta cover his stuff as well as my stuff. So leaving for a couple hours for lunch just doesn't seem feasible because I don't want to stay late at work to play catch up. I want to get everything done. So I'm like, I'm just going to order Portillo's. I'm just going to have it delivered, blah, blah, whatever. I'll go on Grubhub and, I'll get a beef sandwich. I'll get some cheese fries because I already made the plan that I'm going to start this new, I'm going to start this diet tomorrow and, and stuff like that. So I want to enjoy today's, enjoy what I want today.
Sure.
So I ordered what I usually get. I usually get a beef sandwich with hot peppers and mozzarella cheese, extra gravy, with a cheese fry and a root beer.
Perfect.
That is my go-to meal from Portillo's. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get Paige her. I'm gonna get her some from Portillo's because it is her birthday is tomorrow and stuff like that. And she always helps me out at work, and it's like the small things I can do. And I was like, okay, well I know she likes cheese fries, so I'll get her a cheese fry. And I was gonna get her a piece of cake, birthday and stuff. But I'm like, I'll just get the chocolate cake shake because it's a slice of cake, but in a better form.
Yeah.
So I ordered all this stuff. End up being like $50-something with tip and all this shit. And I'm like, fuck
yeah, because that's it's easily a $30 order from Portillo's, and then with delivery and tip.
Yeah, it was $38 for the food, and. Yeah, and the Grubhub thing is free delivery, so I didn't have a delivery charge, but yeah, the service fees and the tip and everything, it came out to like $50. I'm like,
that's how they get you. There's no delivery charge, but there's still a service fee.
Oh yeah, it's a fucking joke, I'm just like, I'd rather be charged, and that's the thing too, because it shows you what the delivery charge is and how it's lined out and everything. It's like it's a $4 delivery charge, but it's an $8 service fee. It's like you fuckers doubled the delivery charge, but so I paid it, and I'm like, whatever, it's fine, I'll be able to eat, I'll be able to get, Paige something, to kind of pay her back for all the, help that she gives me, plus her birthday, and it is what it is. My food comes, and it came early. I scheduled it to show up at 11:30 because I eat lunch early, I eat dinner early, and I try to avoid eating late and everything. So I usually eat lunch anywhere between 10:30 and 11:30. So I scheduled it for 11:30. It showed up at like 11:20. It was awesome and everything. And I have my root beer. I have her chocolate cake shake. I have my beef sandwich. But I have one cheese fry. And for me, I love cheese fries, and I love the idea of having cheese with my fries. So I order an extra cup of cheese for her cheese fries. I order an extra cup of cheese for my cheese fry.
Oh yeah.
So in this bag, I had 4 cups of cheese and half of a large fry. Because they gave me 1 fry instead of 2, and they didn't fill the container all the way up.
What?
Yeah.
Are you sure that's what happened? You sure it wasn't the driver eating it on the way?
So that's my thing. So I'm looking at this like, okay, clearly all my food's not fucking here. I sent a message to Grubhub because Grubhub has this Grubhub guarantee and everything. And the thing is, their guarantee is either the best value and time of delivery.
Right.
Their Grubhub guarantee doesn't guarantee your food's going to show up right. I think that's what they need to fix. Like, because the fact that I have to sit here and like try to find a way to reach out to Grubhub without having to try to call their customer service, because I've called their customer service and it sucks. So there's a way I'm trying, like, for me to try to figure out a way to contact Grubhub to explain how I'm missing items, and I also didn't get my peppers and mozzarella cheese on my beef sandwich.
What?
Yeah. So at first I thought maybe maybe the guy grabbed the wrong order. My driver grabbed the wrong order and stuff. But no, it was a beef sandwich. It was my root beer. It was a chocolate cake shake. My name was on the receipt of the bag, and it said it on there. 2 LF for 2 large fries, 4 CC for a cup of cheese. So the order was there, and it said peppers, it said cheese, whatever. It was all listed there. So I know they saw the list, and I can't blame the driver for the food not being in the bag, because Portillo's packed the bag and they sticker wrap the handles and shit.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
yeah.
So I can't blame the driver for it not being in there when they leave, because that's on Portillo's fault. That's Portillo's problem.
Right.
The one thing I don't want to accuse the driver of, but it's a possibility, is that they did steal some of the fries on the drive. And the thing is, like, it's not like I was missing half of a thing of fries. I was missing 1.5 things of fries.
Right.
So it's like I couldn't see a driver reaching into the bag, because I mean, like, just because they tape the handles closed doesn't mean you can't get into the bag.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You can easily put your hand into the bag. It's an open mouth fucking plastic bag.
Right.
So he could easily reach his hand into there, grab a thing of fries out of there, and just fucking, start gnawing on them, because I mean, in the driver's mind, hey, it's the Portillo's forgot to put it in here,
Right. Yeah.
Like I said, I can't accuse him of doing it, because I don't know when this fry went missing, or even if this fry existed to begin with.
Right. Well, and if they didn't get you the peppers and mozzarella, then like,
yeah,
it'd be very easy for them to forget fries if they can't forget the basics of your sandwich.
Yeah, and I pre-ordered the food, so I made the order before the store even opened up. So it's not like I'm sending it during like the rush hour time, It's like they have my order at the very beginning of the morning, so it's easy to see: big beef, mozzarella, hot peppers, blah 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 blah. So I'm thumbing through this app, trying to figure out where, what I could do to be. I just want to be reimbursed for the shit that I didn't get,
Right.
And,
yeah.
Because overall, it was like, I mean, at the end of the day, I end up being reimbursed $13, because that's the amount of food that was missing from my $38 meal.
Gotcha.
So I was bummed out, but I gave her the cheese fries. Because I was like, hey, this is your cheese fries here. I got this for you, and here's your chocolate cake shake. I'm going to enjoy my beef sandwich. I'm going to enjoy my root beer. It is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah.
She doesn't use as much cheese as I do, so I ended up with 3 cups of cheese.
You needed some for your beef sandwich at that point.
I do not put cheese whiz on my beef sandwich.
Fair enough.
I should have, though. Because it doesn't sound bad. I've heard of beef and cheddar sandwiches, so it doesn't sound bad. Yeah, so it's like, I probably should have. Unfortunately, I forgot I'm at work, so as soon as I get back to work on Monday, they're in the garbage.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm sitting there eating a beef sandwich. There's 3 cups of cheese and my root beer and everything. I was like, okay, it is what it is. Shame on me, for thinking that the order was going to be right. I get home and I want to go grocery shopping, because again, I'm starting up this diet again, to try it out. And I was like, okay, I gotta go shopping and everything, but I just want to go home. Usually Fridays, I just want to be home and everything. I was like, I'll go shopping, I'll go shopping tomorrow. It'll be fine, whatever. I just gotta figure out what to eat for dinner tonight. And I realized I just don't have any food really at my house that I could like throw together, cook real quick and everything. All my meat's frozen. I'd have to thaw it. It's just, there's nothing I could just quickly grab and eat, shit like that. So it's like, you know what? For my last official meal before I go on my diet, I really want a stuffed pizza.
All right. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like deep dish, but better.
Mm-hmm.
I believe stuffed pizzas are better than deep dish pizzas. So I ordered a small one from this place that I usually order from, and I ordered it from Grubhub. So I ordered a small stuffed pepperoni pizza. So I was like, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get a Diet Pepsi. This is my final meal before I start my diet.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching TV, just waiting for my fucking food to come and everything. Dude pulls into the driveway, hands me my soda, hands me the box, and the box felt light.
Uh-oh.
And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, did this fucking dude eat a slice of this fucking pizza? Because I know what weight a stuffed pizza should be.
Right.
And this wasn't it.
Yeah.
So I think the guy, he left. I opened the box and it's a thin crust pepperoni pizza. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure, 100% confident that I ordered a stuffed pizza. And I went back onto the app. I looked at my order and it said right there, small stuffed pizza, pepperoni extra, Diet Pepsi. I looked at the receipt on the box and it says my name. It says thin crust pizza, pepperoni, Diet Pepsi. So I'm trying to figure out how my order that physically says stuffed pizza, pepperoni turned into this printout that said thin crust pizza, pepperoni.
Right.
Not sure what the fuck happened. I looked at and I was like, cool. Now I gotta get a hold of Grubhub again and explain where they fucked up.
Right.
I chose this. I mean, I should have, so they know, but I chose not to this time because when I did the math, and it is what blows my mind about it, is that the price difference between what I ordered and what I got was about $1. So I didn't think much of it. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna fucking. It is what it is. If it was like $3, $4, $5, I'd probably fucking reach out and complain once again and get it resolved. But I was like, over $1, I just really don't care. It's, I just want to, it's 6:30. I just want to eat my pizza, relax, whatever. And the pizza was still good. It was. I'm not a sweet sauce person, and this pizza place does sweet sauce, but the seasoning they put on and everything, it's delicious.
Nice.
So, for the first time in a long time, I decided to use Grubhub, and I used it twice in one day, and both orders were not what I wanted. It was not right. So I decided that Grubhub is now officially dead to me.
Yep.
There's no. This was their second chance from the last fuck up, and I can't keep going back to them like an obsessive boyfriend who can't quit a girl. So, Grubhub, if you're listening to this, which we know you are, fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, shame on you. I'm done with you. If I need to order food, I will DoorDash it. Or maybe I'll just stop being lazy and go get my food myself. I don't know. I just know that it's pretty disappointing when you screw up your order twice. And the thing is, like, I don't even know if I could blame Grubhub for any of this. Like, that's the thing is, like, it's like, I just don't understand the mix-ups that happened, but it doesn't sound like it's Grubhub's fault. It just, right. It sounds like they're both the issues of the places I ordered from. Especially the receipt of the pizza place. I was like, I don't understand, like, how the hell the receipts look different. And the receipt had my name on it.
Yeah.
So because, again, I went to the thought, like, well, maybe they grabbed the wrong order. but it says my name on it. It says Travis right there at the top of the thing. It just doesn't make sense to me how Grubhub says stuffed pizza and the printout at the pizza place says thin crust. So I'm not sure what the fuck happened. So it's unfortunate that Grubhub has to take the hit for the errors of these two places, but it's just the way it is, and it's unfortunate. But at the same time, I'm kind of glad it did happen because, like I said, it's my last time ordering stuff because I'm going to try this diet. And I remember talking to you about it. You remember the military diet, how we spoke about it a while back?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like the 900 calorie a day diet and shit where you're basically just eating like toast and tuna and half a grapefruit and parts of a banana and all that jazz. Yeah. So I realized in myself that, like, you know, when I eat, I don't really eat a lot in a day anymore to begin with. You know, it's just some things are probably not the best things to eat. You know, it's like still like, you know, eating like too much bread and all that shit.
Right.
And I'm just like, maybe I'll try the military diet again, see how it goes. You know, who fucking knows? And I don't know when the website went up because I don't remember it when we were trying diets and fad diets and stuff like that. But there's actually a military diet website now that gives you the eating schedule for the 3 days plus the shopping list. But it also gives you meal ideas to eat on the 4 off days. Mm-hmm. So like when I did the military diet the very first time, I did the military diet for 3 days, and then I just ate whatever for the other 4.
Right.
And clearly the diet doesn't work that way because, you know, even though you're eating very little calories in these 3 days, when you overeat in the next 4, it kind of cancels itself out.
Right.
So come to find out, you know, how they planned everything out, it's 900 calories for these 3 days, and then for the 4 other days, it's 1,500 calories.
Oh, nice.
So I was like, okay, so I printed all that stuff out, and I'm looking through it, I'm reading through it, I'm like, okay, these are pretty simple things, you know, like, you know, I could easily eat the 3-day military diet stuff, but on my off days, you know, it's like, you know, a 2 egg and cheese omelet for breakfast, a chicken wrap for lunch, you know, and like a chicken pasta for dinner. Like, it was like simple things, you know. It's like, It's okay, this is stuff I could do. You know, this is no problem and everything. And I got half the shit at my house anyways. I just gotta go out and buy the other half, and it's doable. It's not, they're very simple recipes and some of that is like dice up a cup of chicken, throw it in a wheat tortilla, you know, eat it up, blah, blah, and shit like that. So.
Sure.
I'm going to try it again. Like I said, I can't decide if I want to start it today or if I want to start tomorrow. I'm going to incorporate fasting into it, drink a lot more water and everything. And it's goofy and it's stupid for me to say now because I've said it. If I could pull together the amount of shows I have said that I need to start dieting and being right, I could probably create an entire series out of those.
Probably, yeah.
But I'm gonna say it again. Like I need to get right, and I need to get my diet in check, and I need to get everything going. And I'm gonna try this military diet thing and see how it goes. I'm gonna give it at least a week. Come to find out, last time I talked about the military diet, I was wrong in the sense that I said that, like, you know, it's a diet that, you know, people in the military eat, blah blah blah, and that's not the case. The military diet is not named because it was created in the military. It's called the military diet because it takes the self-control needed to get through the diet.
Aha. Gotcha.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay. So that makes sense to me. So I'm going to work on the self-control. I'm going to work on being a better dieter and try to stay focused on and committing to these diets. And I know that I have the right mindset to be like, if for some reason I get, like lightheaded or woozy or weak or some shit, then just fucking eat. You know, I'm not going to jeopardize my health, you know, to try to make a diet work.
Good.
but I'm going to give it a shot. I'm going to put in the efforts to see how this goes, and give it about a week and see if I can acclimate myself to doing it, and then maybe I'll do 2 weeks and then just see how it goes. Because they say you can lose anywhere from 5 to 10 pounds a week doing this diet. So I'm going to see how it goes, and if for some reason between now and the end of December I end up dropping 40, 50 pounds, and hey, fucking, and I'm healthy about it. That's the big thing, and it's not causing me any medical issues, or I'm not passing out behind the wheel, or being lightheaded at my desk and everything. Then let's see how it goes. But
yeah, nice.
There's a lot of commitments that I really gotta get in check and get going and everything. My back is probably the best it's been since I came back from my back injury. It was in 2021.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so it's the best it's been since then. So I'm gonna start utilizing my gym membership and everything, and probably start fucking working on this yoga again. Like, when was the last time you did your yoga, Joe?
Oh man, I don't even want to think about it.
Right.
It's been a long time. I did go to one of my congregants really wants me to join his karate dojo, and so what's that?
Is it just like working out or actually doing karate?
It is actual karate. It's the...
But like, does he want you to go just to do workouts or to actually be trained in karate?
He wants me to actually be trained.
Oh, dude, that'd be exciting.
Yeah, it's cool. Anyway, we can talk about it in a second, but I did go to his...
I'm done. We can talk about it now, man.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, so it's called Shotokan Karate of America. And,
okay, is that Chicago?
This one's in Chicago, but it is all over the country, and apparently all over the world, according to the guy who was teaching that day.
Ooh, so it's like Cobra Kai.
Yeah. And it's a cool. I mean, I don't know if it's that cool. It's karate. It's a martial art. It's physical training and all this jazz. And they, I think, really try to play up the self-defense part of it, which I don't. Okay. I'm fine with that. I don't have anything against self-defense. It's just like I don't think about being attacked ever. It's just not who I am as a person. And so training myself to think that way, I don't know. It just doesn't really gel with my mind. But anyway, I did go to the first workout is free, or first not workout, but first practice is free. And so I went and it was a tough workout. I wore my watch the whole time and it told me my heart rate was between like 170 and 190 the whole time, which is pretty high. It's way out of my zone that I'm supposed to be in. But it's not like we weren't running or doing push-ups or anything. It was literally just it was very much like the DDP yoga. Your body is tense the whole time, and so as a result, your heart rate is elevated the whole time.
Yeah.
But there was a little bit of yoga at the beginning just to stretch and warm up, and I felt myself, as I'm doing it, I'm getting really good form on my yoga, and the guy's like, "Oh man, you must stretch." It's like, I try. But it did make me think. I'm still sore. This was Wednesday night, and it's now Saturday morning as we record, and I'm still sore from the workout, just because it was so. I was so out of shape, and it was so intense.
That sounds exciting, though, man. Yeah. I could see how like the idea of self-defense would not be like high on the list of like, oh shit, this is something I definitely need. I can understand like if it comes from like a female's perspective or like a child's perspective of I can learn this to protect myself and everything. That's one of the luxuries as guys that we have is that the idea of being jumped and beat up. It could happen, but it's never really the first thing on our minds when. We're walking down the street or we're by ourselves and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I would encourage you. I'm hoping you're thinking about, pursuing this, just as more of like a workout, thing and, more so than, obviously a self-defense thing like you mentioned.
Yeah. I would think about it. The problem is that they meet on Wednesdays and Sundays, and
When
their
you
Sunday
podcast.
Right. What's that? Oh no,
When you
it doesn't affect that.
Okay.
So it's like Sunday morning from 8:15 to 10, and I teach a adult education class Sunday morning before church, and then church is at 10:30. So I can't do Sundays. Wednesday, the class itself is from 6 to 7:30, but it's a half-hour drive over there and a half-hour drive back, and I don't have time to eat dinner beforehand. And so it ends up being like a 3-hour commitment, which is a huge commitment on a Wednesday evening. So I don't know. And on top of that, it's so like the actual like membership for the karate is very cheap. It's like $100 for the whole year. That's no problem.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No, but they hold it at a community center that charges almost $40 a month to be part of the community center. And it's like, I would only use it on that Wednesday for 3 hours every week. And so I'm like, is that worth it? But I guess, if I could go to every week, it'd be less than $10 a week.
Well, what else is at the community center that you're able to use that $40 a month on?
Right. Well, they got like a pool and other classes and all sorts of stuff. But like, it's so far out of my way. I'm not going to go there ever except for this.
Okay. So this isn't something where you could be like, on a random Monday, I feel like, working out and going swimming. So I'll head to the community center, get in the pool, swim a few laps and stuff like that.
Right. I could theoretically do that.
But that's what I'm saying. But this is something
so far,
you would.
Yeah. If I still lived over in, because it's basically in Rogers Park. So if I still lived in Rogers Park, no problem. I would be doing this all the time.
Is this 30 minutes like city driving or just normal driving? Like like with like 30 minutes traffic and.
Oh, city driving. Okay. Yeah, like traffic and stuff. It's if everything was perfect and all the lights were green and there was no one else on the road, it's like I could do it in 15 minutes, which is not bad. But it's never. Conditions are never ideal.
No, dude, it took me 45 minutes to get to the highway from your house after I dropped you off from Wisconsin.
I believe that.
I'm sitting there, and the part that sucked the most was I was facing sundown the majority of the fucking time with the sun into my. I'm just like, I'm seeing like as soon as I left you, I was like, cool. All I gotta do is get to the highway, get on there, and it should be smooth sailing. Hopefully, even though I think we got back around like 5-ish, it was like kind of rush hour, but
yeah,
I probably spent more time getting to the highway from your house than I did on the highway to my house.
I believe that. What highway did you take?
I couldn't even tell you off the top of my head. I really just don't know. 90 maybe. I can't. I don't know why I can't remember. I mean, there's not that many highways that are right there by your house. Whichever one's by your house.
If you took like 294 to 90, that would be the longest.
Yeah. Tollways. Yeah. 294.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's a rough one.
Dude, I just put home on my Waze app and I trusted it with taking me to where I needed to go.
Yeah.
Probably in Waze's mind it was like, this is a lot quicker. Cause what I remember is because after I pulled in and dropped you off, I didn't turn around and exit that way. I just drove straight because that's what Waze said to do.
Gotcha.
Because I remember when I got to your house, I came in from one way and pulled into that bullshit thing that is technically a parking lot, but it's a road.
Right.
Fucking Chicago. Ugh. Yeah. People wonder why I don't like driving in Chicago. It's because I can't tell if I'm in a parking lot or a street.
Yeah.
Also, I think that should be angled parking. Somebody should really fix that shit.
Yep.
The fact that it's anyways, so as soon as I dropped you off and you went inside, I just drove straight and I went through like a neighborhood and all this shit, and then I turned right, and I started heading down that way, that direction. I'm pretty sure it was 294. God, fuck, dude, it could have been 55. Honestly, I can't remember what the hell road it was. I just remember that I was on local roads or non-highway streets for a good 40, 45 minutes.
Nuts. But very believable.
I'm just like, yeah, dude, it was nothing like, and I could, from what I could see, because again, the sun was blurring into my eyes, but what I could see is like, that light is green and yet we're not fucking moving.
Yeah.
Like what are people doing right now?
I never know. It drives me nuts. I cannot stand the drivers up here. It's enough to, I wish the public transportation was better because I would use it in a heartbeat just to not have to deal with these people.
Yeah. What would you do to make public transportation better? Like, what do you think needs to happen?
So, where I'm at, what needs to happen is there needs to be more frequent buses that bring you to the main, train arteries.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha.
And then for the trains, they just need to be more reliable, and there need to be more of them every day. But the problem is they don't have enough workers. They don't have enough employees for CTA, and it takes forever to become a train operator.
Yeah.
And CTA is terrible to work for as it stands right now because you don't have any control over your schedule, and it doesn't matter if you put your availability one thing. I guess when you start, they really just kind of give you whatever that no one else wants to do, and it's like 3-6 months of that as a bus driver. And then you might be able to get the chance to operate a train, which is I don't know. They need train operators more than they need bus drivers. So I don't understand why there's no, what's the word I'm looking for? Expedited route or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I think if they started with those things, that would be, it'd be much better right off the bat. Other than that, I think just maybe more routes so that, just in general, more routes would be good so that more people can have access to it. I don't know if, the trouble is you can't you have to make it good enough that people choose it over cars.
Yeah.
But the problem is that there are so many cars on the road, it's almost impossible to make the buses any good.
You know what's nuts?
What's that?
Is that, so, as you mentioned, cars on the road, it causes traffic and delays and all that shit.
Yeah.
In a world where urgency is everyone's top priority.
Yeah.
Because I'm thinking, I'm listening to what you're saying, and buses and trains, and you know what I fucking missed that that if I could take something away from a previous season of this freaking show, something that they need to bring freaking back, trolleys.
Oh yeah, a trolley'd be great,
dude. A fucking trolley, you could put it right in the middle of the fucking road. And if the idea of getting to a place right away, if the world learned patience,
right,
and just take a fucking trolley around, I don't understand how those stop. I'm guessing the only reason they don't exist anymore is because they weren't fast enough, that they didn't move quick enough, because everyone is in such a damn hurry nowadays that they can't just take a moment. But dude, if they put fucking trolleys in the city, they just, it just goes on by and it stops and you get on, get up, just like a bus or a train, basically consolidating two things into one. And you're just trolleying along the fucking city and
just something that covers basically the whole main roads.
Yeah.
And maybe buses to the main roads.
Yeah. It's simplicity. All you gotta do is just go back to the shit that people used to do, transportation.
Yeah, I've said before, I don't mind taking the bus. It's 2 buses from my house to my job. And I don't mind. It's not that long of a ride. It's 45 minutes, which versus driving is only 10. But I don't mind it. It's not horrible. What's horrible is if I miss my bus this hour, I have to wait a whole other hour for the next bus.
Yeah. How is the how is their timing? Like, are they delayed at all? Are they early at all? Are they like, oh, this bus will be here at 9:05 and it's rolling up at 9:05?
Yeah. For me, my bus is usually pretty on time. I'd say there's probably a 10-minute window.
Gotcha.
Where it's usually late. It's not usually early. But throughout the city, there are problems with they call them ghost trains and ghost buses, where it's scheduled to come, but it never does. Yeah. And so they're pretty awful right now in the city.
Did you ever think that maybe, the bus is truly there? You just never took the opportunity to climb onto it? I mean, I'm not saying that Mermaid
like it is
Man
actually a ghost bus?
Right? Like Mermaid Man, Barnacle Boy, yeah, except it's just a big metal fucking bus, so you can't really see people just sitting there. They just happen to be invisible inside the invisible walls of everything, which has always been a question I had for SpongeBob SquarePants on how the fuck can you see the full body of Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy sitting there if they're encased within the invisible fucking, same thing with the invisible jet and was that Justice League and shit like that?
Yeah. Wonder Woman's invisible jet.
Yeah, it's like, I'm sorry, but the whole thing's supposed to be invisible. How invisible is it when you can see a fucking person floating through the fucking sky?
Shouldn't you be invisible if you're inside of it, except for 100%. maybe where the window pane is?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think Trolley should make a comeback.
I love it. I know I saw recently, in a stupid modern update to the trolley. I'm saying this sarcastically. Mm-hmm. In Detroit now, I think it was Detroit. Anyway, they have put in, there's like charging cables through the roadway so that if you're driving your electric vehicle through the city, it can charge while you're driving. Which to me, that is just like trolleys, but make it worse and more expensive. Because now you're an individual paying for your individual car, taking up all the space a car takes up, and your car, sure, it's getting a charge, but like, what's the difference between that and like the old fabled third rail?
Yeah.
It's just build trains, man. I know you're Detroit and that's where all the cars are. Just build a train. They have a people mover. I love Detroit's people mover is great. It's one of the best public transport things I've ever seen. It's it's basically an elevated train like the L in Chicago.
Yeah.
But it's automated. There's no employee on it. There's no like driver, and it just circles its route, which goes around basically the whole city, or the whole downtown basically. At a really regular rate, so that it stops at the platforms. You get on, the doors close, it goes to the next place, it stops, the doors open, you get off. It is free because they don't have to pay an operator.
What does it run on?
Electricity, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like two L cars, just together. And that just constantly circles the city.
Yeah. See, Detroit gets a bad rap, man. Like, everyone thinks it's such a shitty city, but they got shit like that and we don't.
Right?
I'm over here talking about trolleys living in the 1950s. I mean, good job. Good job, Detroit. Well, I do hear Detroit's kind of coming back.
Yeah, I heard that too. Yeah, it makes sense to me. They've had like so much development over the past decade. Mm-hmm. Or so, or like where they've like, I remember, I really wish I'd gotten in on it. It would have been so cool. But they were selling huge plots of land for like $1 because they just needed to get people to come in and do stuff.
I've heard about that. Like because they're not like plain lots, but they're like abandoned buildings and shit.
Yeah,
too,
like an old house. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Very into that idea.
That would have been so. Yeah, come in. If you told me about that, I'd be like, dude, let's go buy a fucking city block for fucking $50.
Right.
Well, I'm not sure how Flint's water is that a thing still.
I don't remember.
I haven't really looked at Flint, Michigan's water issue. And I know I think we talked about it when it first started, like probably 6 years ago, but I don't know.
Latest 6 months. Here we go. Yeah, they're good. They're good
They're
now.
good?
The latest 6-month round of monitoring shows Flint's 90th percentile at 9 parts per billion is below the requirement of 15 parts per billion.
Gotcha. Good job, Flint.
So they're better than they need to be, which is great.
So, Michigan's making a comeback.
Yeah.
What the hell is Illinois doing?
I don't know, man.
Jesus. Well, when you do decide to run for mayor of Chicago, think trolleys.
Right. That's one thing I can't believe Johnson hasn't done yet is fire the guy who runs the CTA.
Yeah.
His name is Dorval Carter. And
I'd fire him just for his name.
Yeah.
Time to go, Dorval.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
what are you freaking thinking about?
What am I freaking thinking? I am there's a new show on Apple TV that I found out about because of Ryan and of GCR and Rob Bass called Monarch. And it's basically a weekly Godzilla TV show. And it's in the same universe, has the same characters as like the Godzilla and King Kong movies that have come out in the past 9 years. Because I guess I didn't realize this, but they've been working very slowly on they call it the Monsterverse, which is a stupid name, but cool name. But they've been working on this thing, this connected TV and movie universe that's kind of like the MCU, but for Godzilla, for the past decade. And, it's a pretty good show. It's not a perfect show, but I truly feel that if it were on network TV instead of Apple TV, it is the show that everyone would be talking about every week. It'd be like Lost or The Event or Revolution, any of those shows that were like really big right before the writer's strike, 10, 15 years ago.
Interesting.
But yeah, it's a good show. I would recommend it.
When you said Monarch, the first thing that came to mind was, is that the show about the royal family?
I think that's The Crown.
Okay.
On Netflix.
I know there's some movie or some TV show where like the queen's like a horrible fucking person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
I think that's The Crown.
Okay. Yeah, because once you said Monarch, I'm like, okay, I know what you're talking about, fucking Queen Elizabeth. But then you said Godzilla, and I'm like, well, that's kind of a mean thing to say about her. But then you went into detail.
Yeah. This show has Kurt Russell as a main character, and his son Wyatt plays him whenever the show takes place in the present and in the 1950s. And so Kurt Russell plays himself, or not plays himself, but plays the character in the present, and his son Wyatt plays the character in the 1950s.
It's fantastic when you get like these streaming services are getting like famous actors to play in the series.
Right?
You know, it's like with Ted Lasso. I can't remember the dude. Jason Sudeikis.
Yes, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah, like in Ted Lasso. And then even in the True Detective, when they had Matthew McConaughey and Ed, was it Harrelson?
Oh, yeah. Was it Ed Harris?
The dude who played Woody on Cheers.
Oh, Woody. Wait. Played Woody on Cheers.
Woody Harrelson? Is it Woody Harrelson?
I think it might be Woody Harrelson.
Okay, so he played
Woody Boyd on Cheers? I didn't know his name was just... Oh, that's so funny.
Did you just Google it?
Yeah.
Was his name Woody on Cheers?
It was. It was Woody Boyd.
I thought I was just getting it all fucking mixed up. Okay, yeah, so Woody Harrelson played Woody Boyd on Cheers, and he was in True Detective, and I think Vince Vaughn was in True Detective, and I can never remember that fucking dude's name, but we just talked about him on the Curious Case of Dr. Parnassus. He was in that movie Phone Booth. What the hell? I can't remember his fucking name. He was in SWAT. What was that dude's name?
Oh man, I don't remember.
Let's see here. It's The Phone Booth, which is also a great fucking movie, by the way. I recommend anyone go watch it. It's a classic. Colin Farrell.
Oh, all right. Yeah.
So it's just cool that like people are like, these celebrities, these movie stars are getting in on these TV shows. I mean, it sucks that it's, on streaming services and everything, but it's still cool that things like that's happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I do wish, I don't know. I'm paying too much for streaming services because I have too many of them again. And it's just like, I'm just paying for cable again.
Right? It gets to that point, man, where it's like, oh, I'm not going to pay for cable. I'm just going to stream services. I'm like, yeah, but when you have like 5 or 6 streaming services and they're like $18 to $20 a piece, you're up to $120 now.
Yeah. I had to finally get my own Netflix because, Netflix is cracking down on password sharing and I can't prove that I live in Michael's household.
Yeah, you can only you can still watch them on phones, but you can't watch them. Netflix. Hope you're not listening. I can't use it on my PS5, but I can use it on my phone.
Yep. Well, that's what made me do it was that we wanted to watch Bake Off on my PS4, and so I was like, fine.
Yeah. Couldn't you share your phone screen to your TV?
I do not have a smart TV, so no.
Oh, yeah, I need to get a smart TV.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I've never wanted a big TV, really. Yeah. I've been very happy with I think I have a 43-inch or something. Well, maybe it's...
Yeah, but you got tubes still.
No, I got a regular flat screen.
Knowing you still got a tube that you have to get up to change the knobs.
I wish. It'd be better. I would like it better than what I have. No, I kidding. But yeah, I've been actually like the TVs over 50 inches have been getting cheap enough that I'm like, oh, that's very tempting.
Oh, especially during Black Friday, Cyber Monday on Amazon and shit like that.
And I saw a 65-inch TV for $299, which is like puts you just over the limit to where you don't have to pay interest for 18 months.
Yeah.
Tempting.
The TV that I have in my living room, I moved it here from my apartment, and I had to buy that TV because my original TV just died one day. Like I went to press the button, it came on, it went straight off, fucking dead. I had to buy a new TV, so I got this one from Best Buy, and I can't remember, it was like 2013, 2014, whatever. So I've had this TV for almost 10 years now, so I know it's going to go soon. And like part of me doesn't want it to go because I don't want to spend the money on a new TV, but part of me wants it to die, so I have to go get a new TV.
Right.
But I'll probably still get another 60-inch just because I'm so used to it now. If I get a 48, it's just going to throw me off.
Right.
Like there's a good chance that I'm going to get a 72. I'm just stupid.
Yeah.
It's just
have you been? You haven't been over to Michael's house yet, have you?
Other than with you, no.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you were there. So you've seen his TV.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sucker's like 86.
That's too big.
But it doesn't look too big in his space.
Well, no, wild. He has an open concept house.
Yeah,
his ceilings
helps.
His ceilings are like 30 feet fucking tall. It's nuts.
That is the trick. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
There's like a 86-inch that I saw on sale for Black Friday for only like $500.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, could that fit in my house? And now you've convinced me it would not.
Well, I'm guessing, because I haven't been to your house yet, but I'm guessing that your house is very similar to mine. We got about like 9-foot ceilings or whatever the fuck it is.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
Yeah. So when you consider an 84-inch TV, that I'm not a math guy, you could probably figure it out better. So 84 inches is from bottom left to top right. It's diagonal.
Correct.
So I don't know what the height of that is, so I don't know how tall an 84 inch is.
Yeah. It's got to be like 4 feet.
Yeah, I know that if I was getting 84-inch put on my wall, it would look horrifying because it would.
You'd have to redo your entertainment center.
Yeah, because part of the TV will probably be below the fireplace.
Right.
72, I think I could put there, and even though it'll be bigger, I think 72 is what would work. If I moved it because my TV is obviously, for those who don't know, and I'm not inviting you to my house, don't show up. I'll call the cops. So the wall that my TV's on now is the divider between the kitchen and the living room. It's the center wall that divides, my big donut of, living area. But if I was to move it to the left wall, that's the side wall of my house, it probably wouldn't look as bad. But for me and like the 9-foot ceilings, 84 inches is just ungodly big. His works just because he has that huge open concept.
He does have that like
and shit.
cathedral ceiling thing going on.
Yeah. Yeah, if he put that in his bedroom, which I believe the bedrooms are just normal sized roofs or ceilings, it'd look horrifying. But yeah, I did see his TV, and when I looked at it, I'm like, that thing's fucking huge. But I also get it because his living room is so big that being farther away, you want a bigger TV.
Right.
Like from where my TV is for where I sit, it's probably 12 feet. So 60 inches is fine. 72 will be even better. But yeah, no, I got a 50-something inch TV that sits in my, my office that I use for yoga, and that's it. But I also got a 48-inch TV down on my bar that I haven't used or touched since the last party I had, which was years ago. It just sits down there. And it sits down there with that cable box I paid $10 a month to have that I never fucking use either. It's a thing. Yeah. I got TVs all over the place, and it's nuts. And I just
that's how I've gotten all my TVs. Is that like whenever my folks get a new TV back in Lafayette, they're like, "Hey, you need a TV?" Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, so this TV I have here, I got from a mom's friend who's having a garage sale that gave it to her for like $30, and it's a nice TV. My mom thought I should put it in my bedroom, and hang it on the wall so I could watch TV, blah, blah. And I was like, I cannot put a TV in my bedroom. I absolutely refuse to, because if I do, I'll never go to bed. I'll always constantly want to watch it, and all this. I just can't fucking do it.
Yep.
It's fine in here, not being touched unless I want to work out. The one in the basement I bought just so I could have a TV in the basement, and I bought that on Amazon, and
that was back before a once-in-a-century pandemic, and then everyone having to work 100 hours a week to be able to live. And
exactly. And I set that up, and it's nice to have it down there and everything. It's just never fucking used. It's just because I just really don't have people over, which is something I want to do. It was actually my topic of what I'm freaking thinking about.
Yeah, what was it?
It's just I want to start having more people over. I want to kind of get back into the idea of people just not so much having like big ass parties and everything, but inviting a couple people over just to hang out and bullshit. I found out that I'm not going to name names. You'll know when I say this, but my longtime dearest friend is moving back to the area.
Oh, nice.
So it's going to be pretty cool to be able to see him more and hang out with him and catch up and bullshit and everything. And I know a couple of our mutual friends are excited, for the same thing. So it's like I want to be able to just, get a hold of people, like, shoot a text to you and everyone else and say, hey, getting together for a bonfire, or hey, getting together for a game night, or, just sitting on the deck drinking, just something to where it doesn't have to be a party. You just be a few of us sitting around, having a couple drinks, enjoying life, just talking bullshit, playing games or whatever. Okay. I just realized that I really don't do that much. I don't do much of that. And I know a lot of it has to do with my own personal, feeling of, I don't understand where I get the idea that I don't want people around. I have that idea. I just don't know what it is, because when the opportunity comes around to do shit with people, I want to go do it. Right. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that, I gotta get out of my lazy way of living, and get the house cleaned up. Cause I know a big thing about, I know one of the reasons I don't want people over is because my house is a mess. It is. I'm a single guy living on my own. It's a mess. My pool table is used more as a laundry catch-all than it is a fucking pool table.
Right.
But if I could just get out of my own head, which I want to talk about New Year's resolutions when we get closer to the end of the year, but one of them for me now is, making a routine cleaning schedule. That's what I want to do. I want to, to keep the house clean, but I also want to get some shit done in the house, like put the backsplash on the wall in the kitchen and get the trim done and all this other shit. So it's like when I think about it, it's like, he's like, man, if I could just get that stuff done, then maybe I'll be more comfortable people being over here. But I realized, like, as long as it's just tidy, no one's going to give a fuck that there's no backsplash on the wall and there's no trim on it. It'll come with time, and all this shit. So I want to try to plan more get-togethers with people, at the house, something cost-effective that's easier to do, that you don't got to go to a bar and buy a $6 drink or a $4 beer and all this other shit, and you're crowded and trying to talk over the music playing and everything. It's like, where you could just like, hey, BYOB, grab your own shit, we'll get some pizzas, we'll hang out together, we'll bullshit, play some games, and, drink, spend $18 on like a bunch of drinks, not just a few drinks, and, shit like that. And yeah, I just been thinking like maybe I want to do that more. And, as I said, start, reassociating myself with people at my house and stuff. And who knows, maybe have the big parties again, like the New Year's parties and the Halloween parties and shit like that. But again, that's going to come with, me getting the house together and everything. But at least in the meantime, just, having like small get-togethers and shit. Like, hey, you guys free on Saturday? You want to come out? Or, hey, you free Friday night? You want to come bonfire? You want to come sit on the deck? You want to, hang out in the bar and everything and stuff like that. So I've been thinking a lot about that.
Nice. I love it.
Yeah. Hey, Joe. Every week our listeners can catch Cartoon Joe here on This Freakin' Show. But you know what? I know it's not enough for those listeners. I know just hearing you over here isn't enough for those listeners. I've accepted that. We accept it as fact. We know that these guys need more Cartoon Joes. So if they need more Cartoon Joe, where can they go?
If you need more Cartoon Joe, you can find me over at the Geekcast Live podcast at violentpress.com. You can also find us on Facebook, iTunes, Spotify, and Twitter by searching Geekcast Live.
Excellent. Guys, if you're not following us over on YouTube, make sure you are at Freaknet Studios. Make sure you search for us and subscribe to us over there. The subscribers are still growing, which we really appreciate, and the downloads are still, or the viewing of our videos are still growing. So we appreciate everything about that. If you guys haven't done it yet, make sure you go over there and subscribe and everything. I actually had a conversation with Joey earlier this week on a concept idea of a show idea on YouTube that we're going to try doing, hopefully either in the next couple of weeks or at least in 2024. I don't want to give the name away because I don't want people to steal it until we start doing it. But I love the idea and I love the concept, and hopefully we can kind of bring it to you guys. Mm-hmm. So when it does happen, I want to make sure you guys know about it. So make sure you're going over to YouTube, subscribing to Freaknet Studios, hitting the notification bell so you know when videos are dropping and everything. And hopefully starting here, at least by this month, we can start bringing you, maybe some regular, video content and everything, and start growing that over there. And also make sure you follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at This Freakin' Show, and listen to us wherever you listen to podcasts, whether it be iTunes, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podbean. Subscribe there, rate and review if it asks you to do so. So that's all I got. As always, I am Travesty.
I'm Cartoon Joe.
And thank you for listening to another episode of This Freakin' Show. I'm out.